I'm Abby,
And I'm Anna.
and this is Serious Beef.
Welcome. Episode, what did we say?
23. 23. 23.
Exciting times.
23.
All right. Well,
That's the number of Christmas Eve
it's true. It's true. We do like to wish each other a Merry Christmas Eve
in June.
in June. It's a
It
weird
is still-
family tradition.
When this comes out, when this episode comes out, it will be July,
It will
though.
be July. Christmas in July coming up.
Well,
All right.
well, today we're going to talk about the Pride exhibit at the History Museum.
We went
We went.
to the Missouri History Museum in Forest Park. I got to tell you, if you've never been,
Okay.
it's definitely worth it. I will warn you that the parking is terrible.
You got to get there first thing.
You got to get early or late, way late. I don't know which is
No,
to
probably
advise
early.
you, but
Probably early.
honestly, parking in all of Forest Park is terrible.
Terrible.
So it is what it is. If you live in the area, you're used to it.
But it's free.
But it is free, and the museum is free. We've been to some really great exhibits. They have these.
Yeah.
They turn them over. So we've been to. They did one on Route 66.
Well, hold on.
Excellent. Well, I was gonna just give the list.
Oh no, I want to go into this too because I got some as well.
Okay.
But
Well,
I was
should we
just
do our
saying
beef first?
right. Well, yes, but I was
Okay.
just saying that I was a little bit bummed because I realized that we're going to do this one on the Pride exhibit today, and other things. But this is going to come out in July, and the episode that's going up
It's true. But
on
that's okay.
on 6/26, June 26th, which is the day that gay marriage was legalized,
Yes.
is not going to be on the Pride exhibit.
That is not. But we're a day late and dollar short, and this is what's new.
That's
It's still a great day.
That's probably gonna be the title of this episode. Day late and a dollar short.
Legit.
Legit. All right. Well, you want to go over the different exhibits we've seen, or you want to go into the beef?
We gotta do the beef first. We always do the beef first.
Okay.
All right, hit me with it.
So went to the Pride exhibit.
It kind of all ties
Mm-hmm.
in.
Yep.
Right.
I learned some things.
We learned a lot of things. It was very educational.
I learned that Missouri is fucking terrible.
Which, unfortunately, if you live in Missouri, we are sorry. If
We're sorry.
we're sorry you have to live there.
Actually, I'm not that sorry. I work technically in Missouri.
It's true, and so does your dad. So
I tell you what. Honestly, you know what? I got a little minor, quick beef here. The fact that Illinois has worked out tax agreements with every state bordering us, except for Missouri.
Except for Missouri.
You, work it out, you two.
I got so much beef with Missouri.
Put them in a get along shirt. For
I
God's
cannot
sake.
tell you because they will not make an agreement. I pay double taxes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We pay double income taxes.
We do.
Because Missouri, probably about 5 years ago, I'm not sure, I could be wrong, has decided, why would we give this back to you? We're
No.
just going to keep it.
It's true.
And then Illinois said, but you live here.
Yeah.
So we want our share too.
Yeah.
And so we turn around and have to cut a check to Illinois.
Mhm.
It's some bullshit.
It was worse when I worked in the city because then
Oh,
you
well,
paid
they
to the
pay
city of
tax.
St. Louis.
So at least you don't do that anymore. But yeah, we're
Just
paying-
did an angry
You
Kermit
did,
noise.
You did. It was a very angry Kermit noise. I noticed that I didn't make fun of you for that because when I made it earlier, an owl noise, you made fun of me.
You made a weird owl noise.
I was injured.
Ow!
I can't help it if I sound
Going
amazing.
on the soundboard.
What if I sound amazing when I make an owl noise?
Well, then I wouldn't be laughing.
Okay, screw you.
All right. Well,
All right.
but that's not what my
I
real beef
digress.
is.
So we do have beef with that.
I learned that Missouri.
Oh, Missouri.
Oh, Missouri.
Do better.
Missouri, do better. Missouri, I need you to legalize some things before the federal government says you have to legalize
They
these
don't. They
things.
won't until they say you must.
Yeah. And it's not even legalize it, it's just stop making this illegal.
Illegal, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 1962, Illinois, what should I say, overturned the law that said,
You can't be in a gay relationship.
right, yeah. If you're out, you can't have sex with another
It was
person.
illegal to even to be in any kind of relationship. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
terrible. With,
Yeah.
with a same-sex person.
Right. You would. I know that
Illinois, 1962.
1962.
Guess when Missouri did it?
I already know. I was gonna say guess, but I already told you because I was so angry about it.
We're still angry.
Missouri actually didn't do it.
They did it. You're right.
The federal government overturned it in 2003.
And so then Missouri had no choice.
Had no choice. 2003.
Unbelievable.
You could not have casual relations with people
Any relations, serious or casual or otherwise.
or otherwise in Missouri
Yeah, forget.
until 2003.
Yep.
All right.
So
But yes,
Missouri.
in 2003, the federal government's overturning we're not going to make it illegal
this is
anymore
not
for two
nice.
consenting adults
It's not
to
very nice.
have relations, all right? Now, the other thing is, though, in 2003, 2 years later, 2005, in Canada, they just legalized gay marriage nationwide.
Good for them.
Look at them go.
2005.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Groundbreaking.
They weren't even the first ones. I think it was like Norway was first, and it was like,
Okay.
it might have been like late 1999, 1998. So look at them go.
Okay. What do you know?
We're moving to Europe.
Apparently.
Serious Beef is moving to Europe. Sorry,
I gotta
guys.
tell you what.
But
So
Illinois legalized it in 2013. Legalized gay marriage.
I thought it was 2014, but anyway.
No, Illinois did.
Okay.
And then in 2015, June 26th, the Supreme Court, in a shocking...
Yeah, I can remember hearing the decision, and honestly, holding my breath, like so worried about the decision, hoping it would, that they would make the right call, but thinking they probably wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
And
I didn't think that they would.
And I don't know if I called you, and I'm like crying on the phone, like we were so happy,
Yeah.
like we're like unbelievable.
Well, I
just couldn't believe it happened.
I think I came out to you in, must have been late 2014. It had to have been. Had to have been 2014. Yeah, I came out like late 2014 to everybody. And so then in June of the next year for it to get legalized, it was a 5-4 ruling.
Yeah, and
I couldn't believe it.
Just didn't think it was going to happen.
I know, I didn't think it was
and
going to happen.
I didn't really think that I would be that emotional about it, but you don't understand that when you know that your child doesn't have the same rights as everybody else, like that's upsetting.
It was a
It
bummer.
really upsets you. And when that happened, it was just like, okay, finally. There's still a lot of work to be done, but this is huge, right?
Yeah.
And we went to the Pride Parade in St. Louis
that year.
like days later, not too long.
Yeah, because that was
like the
June.
following weekend or something.
It literally must have been because they always do it like the last weekend of June.
Right. And so I can remember, honestly, if you've never been to this parade, it is so much fun.
It's always so hot because
It
it's
is
the middle
warm
of summer.
and it's pretty long, but what a fun parade.
Man,
It was
especially in
so
2015.
fun. And that, honestly, what a year to go to that parade, because I can remember the first car or whatever coming down.
It's usually the police are usually front.
And it was a couple, two women.
Yeah.
And they had gotten married because
Yeah.
the law had been overturned or
Yeah,
something.
a couple
or-
days earlier.
Yeah, and so they had gotten married, and it was like they come down a little like a golf cart or something, and it said just married.
Yeah.
And we were all like, oh my god,
The whole place
yay!
is like in tears
Yeah,
or
yeah.
cheering. It was great.
Everyone's cheering, and it was just, oh my gosh. And talk about color. I mean, the gays got it going with color, right?
did.
So the color,
Man, you were amazing. Do you remember?
So
and I'm
much
sure
fun.
you do. Do you remember the balloon people?
the balloon people,
The balloon
so
people.
much fun.
Amazing.
And so we're going to march in the parade this year. I don't know if we've said this or not,
Not yet.
but we will be marching this coming
Sunday when this
June-
comes out,
June
previous Sunday.
30th. You're right. We will already have marched when this comes out. But yeah, we're gonna march on
Well, that just means we'll include a
Sunday.
picture of
So
us.
we'll definitely get a group picture of all of us marching in the parade, and God willing, we won't roast to death.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to get a little break in the heat, which will be amazing.
A break in the heat is 85. That's
Honestly,
horrifying.
I know, isn't it crazy? But we said God takes care of the gays. The temperature's
It's
gonna
true.
be 85 for the
His
Pride Parade.
chosen. You know,
Chosen ones.
God's got another angel looking out for us today.
Oh, we do have an update. To our fish episode.
That's true. I actually cut out
so
Here's the thing.
sad.
In the fish episode, we talked a lot about a lot of fish. Okay, and so I had to cut it down because we had like an hour and a half,
I
and so I had to
forgot.
trim it down to your favorite fish just being the pufferfish.
The pufferfish or blowfish.
Yep, and I cut out that your favorite fish were your two fish
I
that
have
live
two
with us,
goldfish. Yes.
Cobblepot and General Cornwallis.
And today,
Today.
Cobblepot passed away. We found him belly up, and we were very, very upset.
So sad.
I couldn't
Which,
believe
all,
it. My
AKA,
poor
what's his other name?
Nemo.
Nobody calls him that.
Liv named him Nemo.
He came to live with me briefly, and I renamed him.
Abby named him Cobblepot. I
And-
think we might have talked about this.
And General
before.
Cornwallis. It might be on the episode we cut out.
Poor Cobblepot, honestly, not a thought behind those eyes. Like super,
No.
he was just
Not too
very
bright.
with it. No, but he was He was sweet.
Bless him.
He always came to say hi to me because he wanted his food.
Yes. He was a sweet little fish.
Honestly, he could never find his food, and then I would tap on the glass. I'm like, "Here it is, buddy. Come over here." He wasn't super
Bless him.
bright. Oh, so sad. So
No
R.I.P.
longer with us.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Cobblepot.
Cobblepot.
We'll have a this episode will be a memorial or a memoriam
In
for
memoriam, that's right.
for Cobblepot.
We'll at the end of the year we'll do an in memoriam for the serious
This
beef.
is dedicated.
They're gonna be like, I'm sorry, the what?
Episode 23 is dedicated to my poor little fishy Cobblepot.
Cobblepot.
So anyway, we also have something to inform our listeners about the fish episode. My husband, who I love dearly, preface that I do love him, made the comment
Well,
that he listened.
He did.
He made an effort to
Shocking.
listen to
First guest to ever listen to the
to
podcast.
listen to the podcast. And his comment about our fish episode was, hit us with it, Abby.
What did he say? It was a little slow.
It was a little slow.
a little slow. A little slow.
Excuse me, that was some enlightening information.
My mom said, "Oh my God, 70
Did you
times."
not hear how amazed I was? How could you not be amazed by the fact that sharks don't have no bones? Come on.
Clearly, he wasn't following the Facebook so that he could follow along with the pictures.
It's true. It's true. And so I think that I need to go get him a get well card.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he's sick, but just because I think he can do better. Because he's sick, because I think he can. I think I'm going to get it.
He signs it.
Make a
do
note.
better.
Do better.
Serious beef.
Love serious people.
Follow us. Follow us on Facebook.
Okay, I have a note. I'm going to
Unbelievable.
get the get well card.
A little slow. Listener, I'm
Listener,
going to put a poll out there.
If I didn't want to
Did
do
you
it-
think that the fish episode was a little slow?
That's true.
I didn't hear any complaints from the 3 listeners I spoke to. Okay? In fact, Kate said she was surprised at how much she already knew, but she learned something new.
Well, there you go.
That's what I'm
There you
saying.
go. If we can impart some knowledge and bring some happiness into
That's
your
what I'm saying.
into your what does she say in the movie Singing in the Rain? We can impart some
I don't
happiness
know.
into your humdrum lives. That sounds all right. That's what she says.
Humdrum
You know,
lives.
then our work here is done.
People. We ain't people.
We ain't people.
That's
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Oh, back to the museum. We were talking about the Pride exhibit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so you said, and the Brexit was excellent. I was a little worried actually because I was like, I'm sure it's gonna be excellent, but I was a little worried that it was gonna be very sad.
There were
Because
some sad.
there
parts,
were,
and
but-
I cried twice.
But it was, I would say,
It did break my heart.
it was
Yeah.
overall pretty uplifting.
I feel like they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Overall, I felt like it was very positive.
Yeah.
Because it was like, look how far we've come.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it was mostly about Missouri, but it had some Illinois
Yeah.
facts too, just because the metro area is, very intertwined. But there was a letter of it was a young man
I know what you're talking about.
had come out,
Yeah.
wrote this letter to come out to his family. And he
67.
didn't know how to do it. He couldn't tell him face to face, so he writes this letter. And they have the letter there, and you can read it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like crying, like it's so emotional, it's so upsetting. And in 67, and this family is a prominent family, like the father had been like,
They said that the guy who's coming
grandfather.
out, his grandfather had been the Republican candidate for something. Now, I don't, not necessarily not like for the Senate or anything, something relatively local, but
Right, but
something,
still-
but still like for like the district,
Yeah.
like, court or something. You know what I mean?
it's
Like,
a pretty prominent white family.
well,
okay?
of certainly in the area that they're in, they would have been well known if he's
Yes.
running for anything.
Exactly.
Right.
And then you see the response
From the dad.
from his father, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter it doesn't matter. You are our son, and we love you. And it made me cry even more. I can still cry thinking
Oh,
about
yeah.
it because that's not the usual response.
No.
Right, that
No.
you get. And this is, I don't want to make this, too serious or downer, but I will tell you that what was the show we watched? And it was the guy from Schitt's Creek. Was it not Dan?
I know Happy's Season is the holiday movie that stars Kristen Stewart and another girl and the guy who from Schitt's Creek who
What is
plays
it?
David.
Is it Dan Levy?
Yes.
So Dan Levy does this little monologue type
Yeah.
spiel, and he talks about how that moment of you coming out to, whether it's your friends, your family, whoever, take your pick.
Yeah.
Like, what an absolutely terrifying moment.
Oh yeah.
because you don't know. You don't know how they're going to react.
Well, it's J Dog and I have talked about this a little bit because it's like it doesn't matter how well you know your family because
Yeah.
it's like we had actually even talked about you and I had talked about this. I think I was like in high school or something like that. Me and you, I remember Sam being there and we kind of just talked about like gay marriage and you had said then you're like. Well, I wouldn't care, if one of my kids came out. It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
But then you go, just don't join the military.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
Because you were like, I don't want to worry about you in the military.
yeah.
And so we were cracking up at that. So it's like in theory, I already knew,
Right.
Right, but
But it's still that moment.
it doesn't matter,
It's still
right?
that moment.
You always have that like a little bit like, well, what if? You never know.
Yeah. I mean,
You
it's
know.
like, even like, you think about, you're like, oh my gosh, your grandparents are part of an older generation.
Oh
where
my
it's
God.
not okay, maybe for some still. And you're, in a lucky situation where everybody was like, whatevs, you're Abby.
Oh my
It's
God,
all
I can't
good.
believe.
But the ones that don't get that have been turned,
Oh,
the
God.
family have turned their back on them, their friends turned their back.
Terrible.
I cannot imagine.
You got the free mom hugs T-shirt.
I do, and I bought a pin
Oh, good.
to wear Sunday because we're marching with Sam's work. We're getting T-shirts,
Yeah.
so I have a pin to put on because I'm like, can you imagine turning your child away? The
Yeah,
pride
no, could you
exhibit
imagine turning your kid
No,
away?
I
No.
can't. And that's one of the things I talked about in the museum was like the different safe spaces
Yeah.
that were available in the nightlife became kind of a big thing, and from that becomes you get the drag shows and all
Yeah.
these different things because so many of them lost their family,
Oh,
and
well,
they found
yeah.
they had to go find a new family
Yeah.
to have some kind of support system. And then the whole section on the 80s and the AIDS.
The AIDS
it
epidemic,
was-
yeah, it
that
was
was rough.
rough.
That was rough. But honestly,
Those were the two kind of
really
sad
rough parts.
But otherwise, I thought it really kind of focused on the uplifting, like, it tried to focus on like local stories, even
Right,
of
right.
like people. The one I was showing you was like the
Oh,
two ladies
yeah,
who
yeah.
who joined the like women's militia and whatnot in World War II, and the one played like the Trump or whatever,
Mhm,
and
right.
and was stationed in Hawaii, and then they come
She
back.
played with Bob Hope's
Yeah,
like band when they would go travel and
Yeah.
entertain the troops. I was like, well, that is crazy cool.
Right.
From this area.
right.
Yeah.
Then they come back. Now obviously they couldn't get married.
No.
No, but they it said like they made a wrong turn and ended up in Belleville, Illinois,
Right,
and I was like,
right.
look at them, and then they lived together the rest of their lives.
Oh, that story was
But
so wonderful.
and then they had though she said the one worked at the post office. And I don't remember what the other girl
I
did.
can't remember.
But that they had like a band that they would perform
Oh, yeah,
on the weekends called the Lou, because the one girl's name was Lucy. They were the Lou Dash Wows, the Lou
Oh,
Wows,
that's so
because
great.
she was stationed in Hawaii.
Right.
I thought that was so cute.
that story was great. So there was
a bunch of
a
stuff
whole
like
bunch
that.
of stories like that. They were just really wonderful.
And they had her trumpet, and they had the uniform. I was like,
Yeah.
so it was
All kinds of
really great.
memorabilia, and it was really great.
It was a
really
great exhibit.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was a little worried going in that it was gonna
It's
be,
really
sad,
yeah.
but it
Yes,
wasn't.
It was, but not. Yeah,
They
it
had the
was-
whole little disco ball area, very fancy.
Honestly, you can follow the Missouri History Museum on. I sound like I work there on Facebook. I do, and then that's how I heard about the different exhibits because I started to say this earlier, but we've gone to a bunch. They had one on Prohibition,
I remember that.
and
That's
that was
fun.
really fun.
Which I
you had
didn't
to like knock on
expect-
the door and go in the speakeasy.
I didn't know what I was expecting for that one.
Oh
That
my
was
gosh.
really
And
fun.
you
They had
learned-
gangster
you-
stuff.
Yep, and you could learn. You had to do the lineup. They took
Yeah.
a picture in the gangster lineup, and you could learn the Charleston, and that was a ball. That was all very hands on. And then they had the one on women's right to vote, and then they had one on the little black dress.
I did not go to that one.
Mayor and Sam, I think, and Liv and I went, and it was just so
Cute.
fun. It was
Yeah.
different quotes from different designers, and they had all these different black dresses that women have
yeah.
worn throughout history, and it was incredible. We loved it.
We Dad and I went to one that was put on by the NFL that traveled around.
Oh, yeah.
And they had uniforms, they had stuff like this, and then they had taken the one thing that I remember, because you don't like it was so vivid, was, and I was in like high school or something like that, so I was playing like 3 sports, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And but they had taken like casts of these guys. Some of them was their arms, their legs,
so you
and
could
things
get
like
an
that.
idea of
So it
how
was like
big they are?
right, it was like a profile. So then they like kind of sliced that in half, and you could stand in it. Okay, so they had this lineman. Oh, and you can imagine a
Sure,
lineman,
sure.
and I in high school, I'm already 5'8". I haven't grown since high school. Okay,
Yep.
I step into it. The man's waist comes to, or the man's like leg, his thigh, came up to like, I don't know, was it my ribs?
Just under your
My
just
ribs.
under your armpit.
Yes, and I had about like 6 inches of space on either side of me. Like in front and behind me, this leg was enormous.
Where do you find pants?
I was just
For that
like,
big?
oh my god.
Wow, that's
Me and Dad are like,
I gotta say, that's one of the things I love about those exhibits because they're typically very hands-on.
Interactive, yeah.
Yeah, they had a Route 66 one I thought was amazing.
oh, they had a little thing in the NFL one that you could use. You know, when you watch the replay. Now, normally they get the tablets now, but it used to be they put the little hood
Yes,
on.
I
They would go in
recall.
there. They had one of those, and you could watch the replay. And they showed you. They had the controls, what the refs have in there. You could rewind it and fast forward and goes.
Oh.
It was really cool, and I was like,
is
wow, they
cool.
got all this stuff, and they still make the wrong
Still
fucking
make
call.
the wrong call.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
But that was a really cool exhibit.
there's a ton of cool exhibits, and they change them out every so often.
And then they have stuff that's there all the time.
The 1904 World's Fair exhibit is always there.
That's
They just
really cool.
updated it, and they have a children's. If you have kids, they have a children's area, which is very hands-on. That's fun.
Yep.
But while we were there, they happened to across the way. They had.
Wait, before we move on from the Pride exhibit, I
Okay.
got one quote that I saw that cracked me up.
Okay, go.
This was in this was in 1895.
Oh,
Quoted from John Berger, a trans man, John Berger, as quoted in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, September 8th, 1895.
1895.
He had been arrested for wearing men's clothing.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They did have some of those stories. Yeah.
Yes, the quote was, I hope they will not compel me to put on women's clothes. I want to keep these. I can't stand women's clothes. End quote.
It was a woman, and she was wearing the men's
It
clothes.
was it was a trans man. And so that's why they arrested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I can't stand women's clothes. I was like, me too, John.
Have you staying there? I feel you, John.
Me too, John. So
Women's clothes are
I took a
terrible.
picture of that. I'll post that quote.
Oh, that's
but
hilarious.
that's like that was kind of like the theme, right? It was like this guy gets arrested, for they're like cross dressing and whatnot, and it was like
oh yeah.
I can't stand women's
Just wearing
clothes.
pants
I'm
and pants and a suit coat and got arrested. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't stand women's clothes. Me too. Honestly.
There was a journal, and it was I don't know how to say that. Mattachine, Mattachine, Mattachine.
I guess so.
The Mattachine Review. Okay, so it's this journal of the Mattachine Society, which is like support for rights of the homosexual
Agenda.
Thank you.
No, it's
Population
it
is what I was gonna say.
Yes, it was supporting
It's
the
a
gay,
group that
the
you
gay
that would help.
population.
Yes. And so the cover of the journal says "Revolt of the Homosexual." Abby says, standing next to me, and says, "That is my answer when anybody asks me to do anything in the month of June." I was like,
Yes, we do anything in the month of June. Revolt of the homosexual.
"Show me the sudden use picture." She's
Yes.
gonna just start sending it out to everybody.
Yo,
I was cracking up.
absolutely not. In
Absolutely
Pride
not.
Month,
that's terrible. So,
man. but
so many wonderful things. There was this
Yes.
great on the wall. It was like the Gay Bill of Rights, and it would just it just kind of strikes you as like, are you kidding me? What? It's literally they want, if you're gay, they just want the right to have unbiased laws. Like, this is something I take for granted every day.
Like, right, the right to police protection.
To police protection.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have that. This
No.
was, somebody wrote this in 1972. So yeah, there was no
No.
police protection for anybody
No.
if you were.
Well, and they did actually have a section on the like interwoven of Jesus, dropping my pen. Of the interwoven, like the gay community fighting for their rights, as well as like the black community.
Yeah, at the same
at a similar time.
Mhm.
Yeah, also fighting for
Yeah.
rights, whatnot.
the
with
right,
civil
the
rights
right to
movement.
be able to have a job and not being fired if they find
Yeah.
out. Like these are the
Yeah.
right to live without fear.
Yeah.
What?
Well, and then
Like the fact that that's something I've never ever had to worry about.
worry
any of that.
about it. Yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
Well, and
I
like,
don't know.
and I mean, we've been fortunate, right? And like I said, this is actually stuff I've actually talked to J Dog about this because it's like I've been overwhelmingly fortunate, right?
Legit.
But
Agreed.
even in my fortune, there are shitty moments.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody. No, I don't know a person in this community that hasn't had at least one shitty interaction, right? There's time that lady followed Ash around, at the Walmart, fucking,
In Carbondale.
in Carbondale, yelling at her because God forbid she was shopping for basketball shorts.
You're going to go to hell.
right
Because you're going to
like
wear men's basketball shorts.
I know.
What? I
I
have
know.
some upstairs in my drawer.
like,
Like, what are
literally
you
they're so
talking about?
comfortable. I'm wearing some right
Like,
now.
girls wear basketball shorts
I
to
know.
play basketball in.
Well,
So
or
are those
it's
girls
so-
going to hell?
yeah,
Like, what are
exactly.
you talking about?
Well, and that there's that. There's just like the times that are we went to Indianapolis for not for Gen Con, for something else, and we were waiting for I think Kate to get there, something like that, and we had gone to the like local like mall or something, like the St.
Right.
Clair Square or whatever.
Sure.
But in Indianapolis, and it wasn't in Indianapolis because we were staying just outside the city, and we
Okay.
had gone to where this like shopping mall is, and Ash and I were just holding hands walking around. We weren't married yet, walking around, and dirty looks. And instantaneously. And we were like, oh, we have forgotten that Indiana is a red state
Yeah.
because we are so used to Indianapolis being so, and what is so insane is that that was like Friday. Okay. We got there on Friday and we're getting these horrible dirty looks at this like shopping center. And so then we go do whatever we were going to do on Saturday morning. And then after that, we went to the Pride Festival in Indianapolis.
In
Was
the city,
literally that Saturday. And it's the city is completely different.
Most cities are.
And we're so used to seeing Indianapolis that we were like, oh, we forgot this is a red state. And I think that that's how I am in Missouri too.
right.
Sometimes, and I'm
Right,
like,
yeah.
because I go to St. Louis and it's very liberal, right?
Typically, the
Ty-
cities
yeah,
are more
you know.
liberal, yeah. For
Oh
sure.
yeah, absolutely. And then you go outside of the city, you go, oh yeah, I forgot. This is Missouri.
Oh, yeah, and which is sad because it's not like you're asking for something extra.
No.
You're just asking for
know.
the same basic rights that everyone
I know.
else has.
I'm not even.
That's what makes me mad. People who fight any kind of rights
Right.
for anybody that's different than them, whether it's gay
No.
rights or somebody different races or whatever. It's like, well, you want special treatment. No, I want the same treatment as you.
literally.
Anyway, while we're at the museum,
Okay.
we go across the way. Here is this amazing color exhibit.
Yes.
You go in and there's all these like, I guess Pantones, right? They're kind of in the they're
They
kind of in
looked
that,
like the
shape,
Pantones.
the shape of the style of Pantones
with like the white block at the bottom that said like zoo sign gray or something like
right.
that
And it was all these different places
of St. Louis.
in St. Louis, and then they had on 1, 2, 3, I guess all 4 walls,
Yeah.
like a whiteboard, and drawn like permanent in black were these
Illustrations.
all different illustrations of places all over the city.
Yeah.
And then they had these dry erase markers. You could go and color whatever you want to color.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Oh my gosh, we're coloring all over the place. Abby's drawing. I took some pictures because you drew a little
That's
Batman and a
true.
little Superman, and
Oh my.
yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was really cute. And then they had all kinds of different little facts about the architecture in St. Louis.
I saw like there's like the doorknobs and they had the stained glass.
Oh, it was so cool. I took some pictures of that.
Excellent.
And yeah, they had this little section where you could ask the question if you could answer, and then you lifted the little flap, and the answer was underneath. And one was, which is taller, the Arch or the Washington Monument?
And if you listen to our drunk podcast where I talk about pansy monuments, you would know.
You would know. It's
The arch
like,
is taller than
you know it's the arch.
everything.
I knew that. I remembered. So that was awesome. But that was really fun. We had a great time over there.
That was really
So
fun.
yeah,
That was a
actually-
surprise. We didn't know that was
We
even
didn't
there.
even know that was there. So 2
And here's
exhibits,
the thing, both those exhibits were free.
both free.
Both
We didn't spend a
free.
dime.
Not a
Although I
dime.
did see a T-shirt in the gift shop that said, "What did it say? Museum nerd."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need this T-shirt because this is so me.
They also had
But I didn't buy it because I really don't need another T-shirt.
they also had various St. Louis stuff.
They did.
And so they had toasted wraps.
Oh, the toasted Bravs. They had a little stuff like toy toasted Bravs.
Toasted
It's
ravioli.
hilarious.
I know.
Yeah, so that was very cute.
Then they had like a little baby onesie that said "little toasted."
The baby onesie has a toasted wrap. It says a little toasted. I'm not sure if I'd put that on my baby, but that was pretty funny. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
We had
I
a
was
great
like-
time. We had a great time, and it was really, really hot. So it was great to find. We got out and about, got to do some fun, but we were inside, so
Golly.
we were dying. So that was great.
Uh-oh.
But we go to the St. Louis Spaghetti Factory, which is one of our faves, and it's
Got that
you,
brown butter
it's
pizza through it.
oh yeah, you and Lib and myself.
Yeah.
And we get seated at the table. And listener, if you don't know this, Happy has never sat in the trough.
No, here's the thing. I think I said this. I think I said this again on the drunk podcast.
Really on the drunk
Because
podcast?
I was like, my bucket list is so short. I wanted to go to the Parthenon,
right.
and I want to sit on the trolley at the fucking spaghetti factory.
Okay, so I have been, help me. I have been seated in the trolley 3 times. Okay, my very first time
The whole fucking family sat in the trolley.
very first time I went there, sat in the trolley. Liv
Pastor.
and I went there, ate there first, and we went to see Phantom of the Opera at the Fox, just the two of us for her birthday one year.
Trolley.
We sat in the trolley, and then we went, one time we were there with Sam and Liv and your dad and I, and sat in the trolley. So we sit down, we get a table, and
And it had been kind of a Yakety Sax routine to get out there in the first place a little bit.
it was.
Oh, obviously. Ashley, or everything is not with us.
If you haven't noticed, noticed the silence,
She's not just being
coming
quiet.
from her mic. Well, Liv says to you, you know, if I hadn't come along, you probably would have sat in the trolley. Abby's face. Her face just
So
all.
close.
He's like, you have got to be kidding
I'm
me.
like, son of a sucking bitch.
So
And she was right.
she was right.
The two of us, we probably would have sat.
We
There
could've.
wasn't a soul in there, just two little biddies in there. It could have been us. We could have been the biddies.
Could have been the biddies. So,
I should've
listeners,
reposted
she
it.
has not had a chance to sit in the trolley yet.
Someday,
Someday we'll get there. We'll get there. Someday.
bitch.
Oh no. All right. So
Well, I was going to go on to the secret sauce.
go for it.
The secret sauce is cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce.
Now, I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because you don't know about the horror that is the cranberry bog.
I do not. You asked me if I knew this, and I went, "What? I do not."
So this is actually this is a this is like a side off a Tumblr post actually.
Oh,
That
okay.
kind of summarizes it really really well. So if you're not aware, cranberries are grown in like a bog. Okay, all
I
right.
am aware. When you watch the commercial
They're
for
staying in.
Ocean Spray,
Yeah.
they're standing in a cranberry bog. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then they flood the bog. Okay, once they're ripe, they flood the blog. They
Okay. So do they grow in this standing water like that, or
no
just wait
it's
till
like
they
it's a
ripe?
bog, so it's like slightly elevated.
Kind of. Okay.
Right, just
okay.
slightly above. It's very wet, but it's slightly
Okay,
above.
okay.
And then when they're ripe, they flood it, and then they basically have like almost like giant pool noodles, and they pull it across, and that's how they harvest the
Oh.
cranberries off the top because the berries
They just
float.
drag it across and bring them in.
Yes.
Okay.
Now here's the thing.
Okay.
So,
I'm not sure I want to know.
so here's the thing. So this person is talking about how they know this guy who, in a past life was a cranberry farmer before they then were working at wherever they had met them. Okay, so
So this gentleman said in his past life he had worked.
no, not literally a past life, just like in a past life I worked in a woman's
what?
basement.
Okay.
No.
Okay, in his former
Former
employment.
occupation. Yes.
I took that the wrong way.
Not-
Okay, gotcha.
not literally.
I was like, does this
Not
guy,
literally.
like, for real? Does he
No,
need
no,
some
no,
help?
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So
I'm with you.
This guy, his farm was on the leading edge of kind of using organic or sustainable pest control methods. Okay.
Okay.
And one of the things that they did to keep insect damage down was that they encouraged wolf spiders to live in the cranberry field to eat the bugs. Okay.
Oh.
Now this is
I am
this has
so
become-
disturbed right
This
now.
has become like a big thing. A lot of places use this. Okay, that the wolf
But they
spiders-
don't eat the cranberries.
No, they eat the bugs. That
They
eat the
just eat the
cranberries.
bugs.
Because they can stay in the
And
water.
we know that spiders are very useful, but God help me.
Okay.
Why must they be so disgusting?
So this was all fine and good until they flooded the bog. Okay.
Okay.
Now you don't just like flood the bog and I'm reading this. This is verbatim now. You don't just flood the bog and then go around in a boat or whatever. No, you use hip waders to get out there and put the big floaty things where they go and get all the berries and such. Right? But you're
Okay.
gonna pull in.
Okay.
Well, when you're in the bog in hip waders, that makes you the tallest thing in the bog. And the wolf spiders can swim a bit, but they don't like it. So they're quite understandably looking to climb out of the water onto a tall thing.
Oh my God.
So yeah, the first
And I'm going to tell you right now, listener, that is not a good, oh my God. That is not a fascinating, oh my God, I've learned something new. This is a terrifying, horrible, oh my God.
So yeah, the first interview question he always asked potential cranberry bog harvester hires was, "Are you cool with spiders?"
No, no.
He goes,
Who answers yes to that?
"You'd be amazed," he said to us, shaking his head a little, "how many guys would just straight lie. Like, you think I'm asking you that question to be cute? Nah, man, you're gonna have like 100 wolf spiders trying to climb your eyebrows. You gotta be chill. Those wolf spiders are fellow employees. You really gotta be
Okay,
chill
that's
with.
pretty funny.
You really gotta be chill with spiders if you're gonna work
Because you
a
can't
cranberry
because you need
harvest.
them. No, that's a no.
So
Absolutely not.
spiders
Never.
everywhere.
Do not
And a
ever
cranberry
ask me
bog.
to work or go visit or even look in the direction of a cranberry bog.
So when they're standing out there in that cranberry bog,
That is a fake cranberry bog because there ain't no spiders on those boys.
well, it's not flooded. Well, so yeah, so that's the
cranberry-
the spiders of the cranberry
Now that you've told me
bogs.
that story, never going to be able to look at an ocean spray commercial again.
There's people pooping in the river tomorrow because the president of France is supposed to sign it to prove that it's not polluted.
So people are gonna purposely poop in the river. Tell me the what river?
Listen,
Listen. Wow.
That's actually hilarious.
That's actually pretty funny. Sorry, listener Liv has joined us briefly.
Join us briefly. Let us know.
To impart
People
her-
are pooping in the river because the president has said
the
he was gonna-
president of
France.
France.
Sorry,
France.
Paris tomorrow. Feel free to shit in the
We don't have a
water.
single fucking no. Don't. We're not gonna encourage that. No, we're not gonna encourage that. What if the president of France comes after our asses?
Then he better fucking come swinging. I will fucking knock that bitch out like ah!
Liv really doesn't like France.
Olivia doesn't really like Europe.
She has a serious vendetta, beef, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, against
She
the
hates-
French.
And the British.
And the British? What have the Brits ever done to you?
Are you joking?
We don't have time to get into
Yeah,
this right now.
you ever heard a little thing called the Revolutionary War? Yeah. Who are we fighting?
Oh, yeah, the British.
Yoda.
All right. Save your beef with the Brits for another time.
All right, Oliver. Get out.
Hit the bricks. Okay. I have to tell you this story. I was gonna hold it for another day, but
Okay. Hit me.
I have to tell you that I typically watch like Colbert, right? Stephen Colbert, like the Late
Uh-huh.
Show, and I love that show, and I find him hilarious. And I guess I don't even know who this was, the guest on there, but she's made a comment about something that happened in Boston, like 100 years ago.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this story. Okay, 100 years ago, a molasses tsunami caused a deadly disaster in Boston, Massachusetts. A molasses tsunami. Now that seems like an oxymoron. How can molasses, which is typically a very slow moving type
Yeah.
of liquid, be a tsunami? Here's what happened. Boston's North End neighborhood had a sticky mess on its hand, quite literally.
Is this our skis poop?
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay. So they call it the Great Molasses Flood of 1919. It sounds funny, but it was a deadly tragedy that actually happened. Okay. So there was a Purity Distilling Company that had a facility in the North End. When molasses is fermented, okay, it puts the kick in alcoholic beverages. Okay. And it says it puts the oomph in rum and ethanol. I don't know, whatever that is. What ethanol?
Ethanol?
Like it's obviously it's alcohol.
Ethanol is ethanol is what typically that's like a renewable fuel we're trying to make out of corn.
So it puts the kick in alcoholic beverages like rum and puts the oomph in ethanol. So they use molasses, they ferment it, and then they actually use it for these purposes. So there is a large tank that stores the molasses. Okay, it's like huge. Okay, at this, it's called Purity. This is a company. Okay, so now the weather this year, 1919, was that what I said?
Yeah.
Was all over the place. Okay, so it's like frigidly cold. Then it would drastically jump to like 40 degrees. It was winter because I said it was like January.
Okay.
So the weather was all over the place, right?
Okay.
And So what ends up happening is just past noon, you start hearing. They said it sounded like machine gun fire. Okay, and the ground shook,
Oh.
and there was like this huge loud roar, followed by this long rumble. The gunfire sound was actually the sound of the giant tank's metal rivets popping loose, sending it crashing to the ground and unleashing more than 2.3 million gallons of molasses. 2.3 million gallons. It was sheer chaos.
Million or billion with a B?
Million with an M.
And still,
That's a lot of molasses.
that's a lot of molasses.
It said it was like a 1970. It said it was like
it
a,
sounded like Marge Simpson.
I
They were
did.
like, "Oh, a lot of molasses.
It says it was like a 1970s disaster movie.
Oh.
Picture a wall of brown goo up to 40 feet tall, racing along at 35 miles an hour.
35 miles an hour.
This is just coming flying, okay, at you. And people are running like crazy trying to get out of the way. It's like entire homes are
Gone.
wiped out
Yeah.
by this wall of molasses that's coming through the town.
Would you say that this house is 40 feet tall?
Shit, I don't know. That buildings were crushed. Some were lifted up off their foundation and just carried along with the tsunami of molasses. Now they get this one, okay? This is the one. Oh, some nearby railroad lines, the girders were damaged. Railway cars were tipped off the tracks and carried along. Like, it was crazy. A truck, some of the trucks and different things were swept into the Boston Harbor. Like, it was nuts. Okay, then unfortunately there were people who were caught up.
No.
In the flood.
In the What
This
is
is-
a horrible way to go.
What a horrible way to go. This story is actually insane to me. A boy coming home from school was snatched by the wave and carried to the crest. He's up top. Somehow he manages to be up top.
Surfing USA.
And he is surfing until he plunges downward, somehow manages to like tuck and roll, and then he hits the ground and he passes out. It says he comes to, his sisters are standing over him. Like, oh my God. They can't believe what they just
Covered in
saw.
molasses.
Covered in molasses. Stuck to the ground, probably. Billy, you've been playing in the molasses again? This kid survives. He surfs the goddamn molasses. Others were not so lucky.
Wait, where is this? Where?
Boston. If you the
Boston
Great Molasses Flood of 1919 in Boston.
Boston roller coaster ride to the tune of Hawaiian.
Oh my
roller coaster ride.
Okay, you're just wrong. Unfortunately, others were not quite so lucky.
Well, no.
21 people were dead, another 150 were injured,
Oh,
some very
shit.
seriously. Unbelievable. I mean,
21 people died
21
by
people
molasses.
died. They got swept up in it and suffocated, like they couldn't breathe.
Well,
They
are
were trapped.
crushed or
You're trapped
drowned.
in
I
there,
mean, there's
yeah.
some. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What a
I mean,
terrible way to go.
they searched the town trying to find survivors.
Yeah.
This, all said and done, they're walking through waist deep molasses trying to find the Red Cross, the Navy, the police. Everybody comes out and they're searching and searching, trying to find for 4 days, trying to find
Oh
survivors
my God.
before calling it quits. It took weeks for the north end to return to normal.
Whoa.
Salt water was sprayed in the streets from the nearby fireboats, and sand was dumped onto cobblestones to try to, because
Yeah.
it's all crazy sticky now.
Oh yeah.
They said for like 70 years, the town smelled like molasses. You couldn't get the smell out. Like it was there forever. So, I mean, they said everything in Boston was sticky. Everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You couldn't touch anything without it being sticky.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Excellent skinny scoop poop.
I had never heard of this.
No, I never
disaster.
heard of that either.
So what caused the disaster? To this day, nobody knows for sure. Some people claim that anarchists blew up the storage tank.
Wow.
An inquiry found that the construction chief had skipped basic safety tests
That doesn't sound
when the
surprise
tank
me.
was built. It had leaked badly. The temperatures, were freezing, and then it would thaw, and then it would freeze and thaw, and then,
Uh-huh.
of course, it wasn't built well, and eventually it was just too much.
Mm-hmm.
And they said the temperatures caused a chemical reaction inside the tank, and it blew.
That's insane.
insane.
That is absolutely insane. I listened to another podcast besides my own.
Okay.
That is My Favorite Murder. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because I'm a true crime aficionado.
Yes, you are.
And the one girl did she did the Hoover Dam disaster. I believe it was the Hoover Dam. Would that do you
okay.
recall this?
Yeah. Yes, this I do know.
Because they had like skimped on safety things, and like the guy who I guess like the architect or whatever, the engineer they got didn't have any kind of degree or anything like that.
What?
Yeah. He just kind of like bit of a charlatan a little bit or whatever, like this
my
whole thing.
God.
And so it wasn't built to code by any means, and so it was horrible, right? Because they had built this dam, and then you have the people who built their homes down here, mostly the dam workers. The dam workers.
Damn workers.
Their families, their homes are all down there.
When
And
did
so-
that? When did that happen?
Oh man. Hoover Dam collapsed. 112 fatalities.
Yeah. When did it collapse?
1928.
Oh, did they rebuild?
Oh yeah.
They had to have been there.
You- 5 days after the reservoir was filled, took it 5 days.
So they build the dam. It's crap. They fill the reservoir.
All of these
Five-
families, all these people move in because it's sort of like, in Vegas, and they're like, oh, hey, this is going to be such a great thing. This is a great thing for this area,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It's going to bring all this work. It's going to like make it this more viable. We can live here, blah, blah, blah. All these people move into these little towns. And then it says a wall of concrete 20 stories high holding back 12 billion gallons of water.
Ooh, that's a billion with a B.
Billion with a B, gallons of water collapses. A roaring 120-foot wave of water crashes down the canyon, demolishing everything in its path. 112 people died.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had not heard that. And I've been to that dam twice.
Yeah, they don't really like to talk
They don't
about
talk
the dam
about
collapse.
that. They don't tell you that on the damn tour.
They don't tell you about the damn collapse on the damn tour.
Holy shit.
That's why Ashley, now we'll probably talk about this in the paranormal, it's considered very, very haunted. A lot of people died. Because
Okay.
everybody who was working died.
Well, yeah.
All those people died.
Well, that's
But like I said, all these families have moved down here.
that's terrible.
All the damn workers.
Oh, those
Their
poor people.
families.
That's,
Yeah.
that's sad.
So-
Well, I just had to tell you the last story because I'm like, how have I never heard this story in
that's
my entire
unbelievable.
life?
That's
What
unbelievable.
a crazy story. But
Molasses.
the thing that got me, I mean, it's not funny. People did die, but it's like,
Sure.
it's like it's a 1970s, horror film scene, if you can imagine.
Nice.
This brown goo
Absolutely insane.
flying along 40 feet high, destroying everything in
That
its
is
path.
wild and wacky stuff.
Oh, that is crazy. And the fact that
Right down.
that is a huge event. How have I never heard of that?
No, because it's goofy.
Wow. Yeah, that is a crazy.
Well, speaking of crazy history stories,
okay.
I think we have delayed long enough.
She's ready, folks.
The people,
She can't tease you with it anymore.
no more.
We know you've been
people-
waiting.
The people need to know about the kerfuffle that led to the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand and subsequently World War I and subsequently World War II.
Secretly. She likes to think that she's been teasing you with this information, and y'all have been just dying to know this information.
The second episode
is
where
the
I
third-
where I mention and we don't talk about
We
it.
still don't talk about
It comes out tomorrow. They don't even know that I'm not going to talk
They don't
about
even
it.
know
yet.
that you're not going to impart this information again for until another season.
Next one. Another season?
But I'm sorry, another episode. The truth of the matter is, she's dying to tell you. Okay,
I'm dying to tell you, Anna. I'm dying to tell you.
I think I've heard this story already, so hopefully someone will learn something now.
What do you mean? You've already heard this. I bet not the way I tell it.
Oh, this is true. It definitely won't be the way you tell it.
Okay, listen. All right. Well, let me take you back
We
to
won't tease it any longer. Here we
June.
go. Hit me.
June 28th, 1914. We're actually was coming up.
Wow, look at us.
Right. I waited to the perfect time.
Yes, for this episode to come out in July.
Yeah.
Once again, funked it.
Shit. Close though.
All right, go.
Okay.
Go.
On June 28th, 1914, I don't know how to say that. Sarajevo,
Correct.
Bosnia.
The fact that you
We're gonna
didn't
go
do
with-
the research is disappointing.
I did the research. I don't know how to say the words.
Okay, go.
2 shots ring out, and Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife are assassinated.
Okay.
Okay? The Archduke is the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. Okay?
Okay.
His wife is the Duchess of Hohenberg.
Okay.
Now, their assassination causes Austro-Hungary to declare war on Serbia.
Yes.
And then subsequently, because of allies, boom, 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 everybody starts declaring war on everybody else. You
Right.
know, Germany is,
Everybody
declares
takes
war.
their sides. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And then World War One.
We got Axis and allies. Yeah, I got the
Yes.
whole thing. Okay.
Thus, World War One.
Okay.
So, but it wasn't so simple as that. Okay? It wasn't just some ho-hum, run-of-the-mill assassination. This was...
It wasn't your ho-hum
run-of-the-mill
assassination.
because this assassination could have been prevented.
Oh,
And
could it?
nearly almost was multiple times. So,
Oh.
so here's the thing. He is visiting Bosnia,
Okay.
right? And the Bosnian mayor and military are warned that Serbian nationalists intend to assassinate Ferdinand.
So
They tell them
They tell them.
they're coming.
They're coming for you.
They're coming.
Okay.
Okay? And the mayor and the Bosnian military are like, Serbian nationalists? Like, tell us a real threat.
They're the worst.
They're never,
It'll be
come on,
fine.
it'll be fine. Literally. They think so little of them. Like, you might as well have told them that, like, the preschool is planning an assassination. They
Oh my
don't care.
God.
They do not care. They do not up security. They do nothing. They do nothing.
They do nothing to protect this poor man.
Correct.
Good Lord.
The let's see. Oh, I didn't write his name down. That's so sad. But Gavrilo Princip, who is the guy who does assassinate Ferdinand later, him and this other man, assassin number 1, as I have named him because I
Okay.
didn't write his actual name down,
For shame.
are on a train going to Bosnia. Okay? Now
with,
they are
with the aim of this
assassinating.
taking on the
They are on
assassin-
here illegally. They don't have papers to be traveling.
Okay.
Okay. The assassin number 1 strikes up a conversation with like one of the guards. Like,
Doesn't
I
even bother to like
I don't
keep
know.
a low profile.
Well, he's trying to, but I don't know who like started the conversation.
He's
They're
just-
having this
He's
conversation,
just trying to be chill.
and the guard basically, right? He's again. This guard, probably knows that Serbian nationalists are coming to assassinate Ferdinand, as they have been told. Now, they don't believe it. They don't really care.
Okay.
But he probably knows. And I remember reading this, and unfortunately, these are the notes I don't have written down, but that I think they were trying to fake their accents. They were trying to appear casual, because if this guard asks them to see their travel papers, they have nothing. They'll be
They don't have
arrested.
it.
They'll be taken off the train. They won't make it to
That's
Bosnia.
it. They're done.
But he doesn't ask him for anything.
Nuh-uh.
So they continue on to
Oh.
Sarajevo.
MG.
Now, here's the thing. Ferdinand is in an open car doing a little parade throughout the streets, letting the people see him. Hey, I'm the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and this is
Okay.
my wife, the Duchess of Hohenberg.
Okay.
Okay? So, assassin number 1, he's gonna try to kill the Archduke. This is what happens.
Okay. Hit me.
Pulls the pin, throws a grenade at the car.
Oh, okay.
Okay, at the open car. It bounces off the car. He misses. Blink, tink, into the thing. He didn't realize he had like a long time timer on this grenade. It was a different kind of grenade than he was like used to. So he throws it. It doesn't go off and be like ding ding ding. But in this time, the car has moved on.
It's moved away.
So it blows up. A couple guards are injured, but nobody dies.
Oh, okay.
Assassin
So too slow. Too slow. Okay.
Assassin number 1, to avoid capture, panics, pops a cyanide capsule, and for good measure, throws himself into the river to drown. However,
He can't even kill himself, right?
the cyanide is expired, and cyanide is expired, and it just makes him vomit profusely, and the river he threw himself into, unknowingly, was only 6 inches deep. 6 inches. So they haul him out and arrest him.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. This is like, if you really need to find his name, because if you look up the definition of incompetent, it's this guy. Okay.
Hey, listener, it's post-edit Abby again. Quick corrections on my information. So, number one, it was not assassin number one who threw the grenade. There were actually 6 assassins in total. The first 2 guys along the route chickened out. And the third guy, who is Kabrinovic, he is the one who threw the grenade and embarrassed himself in history forever. That is all. That's assassin number 1.
Okay, that's number 1. Completely
Assassin
incompetent. Okay.
number 2 is Gavrilo Princip. He is waiting down the parade, waiting for them to show up.
Okay.
Well, after this assassination attempt, they decided maybe we should just call it. Let's just
call
go
it a day.
back. Let's just go like
Regroup.
change the route.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh, wait. So not the call of the assassination. The parade, they decide, wait,
We should change
there
route.
actually
We're gonna go
was an
somewhere else.
attempt.
We should do something else. Yeah, we
okay.
should.
So they're going to change the route and not go with the north.
So
north
they
route.
take a different route, and they don't end up at where Principe was waiting.
Correct. Okay, gotcha.
So he gets discouraged, and he goes to get a sandwich. This is the mastermind behind the assassination that started World War One.
He's like, damn
discouraged.
it. They didn't come by.
Nope.
I guess I'll get a sandwich.
Goes to get a sandwich. Eating a sandwich. Ferdinand decides later, man, I wanna visit those guys who got injured during that grenade
Okay.
at the hospital.
Okay.
So
They get back in the car.
they get back in the car.
Can't even read it.
They get back in the car. His driver wants to take him back to the hotel. Like, I really don't think this is good. You know, doesn't feel very safe. I really think we should just go back to the hotel. To which the mayor of the city responds, "What, do you think this city is full of assassins?" Direct quote.
We've already caught the guy.
Direct
so it's
quote
fine.
from the mayor. What do you think, this city is full of assassins?
Okay.
So the driver gets lost on the way to the hospital.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
And ends up driving down right in front of the sandwich shop where Gavrilo Princip was
is enjoying his sandwich. Do we know what kind of sandwich?
We don't.
Damn.
We don't.
Okay.
But he's coming out of the shop. He's finished his sandwich. There's the Archduke. He pulls out a gun. Bang, bang. Dead. World War One. And that is the kerfuffle
Fuffle.
that led to the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife,
I had heard that last part.
the Duchess of Hohenberg.
They were going somewhere else and he just happens upon them and
Yeah.
killed them.
No, he
I heard
gave
that
up.
part.
Went to go get a sandwich. Comes out
And they're gift wrapped. Thank you. Boom boom. Wow.
because he wanted to go visit the
yeah.
guys in the hospital, and the driver got lost, and
the mayor was
zero security
The mayor
precautions
was a
were taken.
dumbass. Wow. And if they had just listened and
To like anyone,
to anyone,
anybody.
maybe these wars. Do we think these wars would have been avoided? No, I think they would have found another way. You know,
We were, yeah.
the people who were in power at the time. Yeah, I think there would have been another way.
But would it have been as big of a fallout? I don't know.
Who knows, right?
I mean,
it's a crazy story.
Here's what is actually insane is that obviously, I mean, pretty much all wars could have been avoided, right?
All wars can be avoided. I have to agree with you.
100%. But
There's
here's
gotta
the thing:
be a better way.
Is that World War II specifically really could have been
Well,
avoided,
for sure.
right? Because World War
Agreed.
One happens, and then the Allies are like, "Hey, Axis powers, fuck you
Yeah,
for starting the Great War, as we call it, because we didn't know there was going to be a second one yet."
it's true.
And so they're like, "How about we destroy your economy?" Like all of them, right? And so they did. They just they ordered them to pay all this money. And so like Germany's response is, "Fine, fuck you." And they print all this money
Right.
to pay them. Well, now their currency is worthless.
Worthless. Agreed.
Right? And so that's where you see like the iconic pictures of like women literally with wheelbarrows of cash going to the store to buy like bread
Right.
because their currency was worth nothing.
And so the price of everything was through the roof.
Skyrocketed. Yeah. And so
Which never makes sense to me. Print all the money you want. Fuck it. Who cares? Why? Give everybody enough money for everything. But
The
no.
value.
But no.
it's the gold standard, buddy.
It's stupid. It's
So
what it is.
no, it is stupid. So so because of that, then you lead to people get desperate. Desperation
Yeah.
leads to shitty people arising, into power, and
they listen to what he has to
they'll
say
listen
because
to
they're
whoever.
they're literally starving.
Yes.
You know, some of them and
and
have
And-
nothing, and everything's destroyed.
yes,
It's
well,
like
and you look at, now we're going to talk about Hitler. You're looking at Hitler being this extremely charismatic person who is very pro Germany, right?
saying
and,
exactly what they want to hear.
Yes,
Yeah,
and is like does lead them out of this depression a little bit.
he does.
He does, the powers he puts in place. Now, of course, he has his ulterior motives.
Crazy ulterior motives.
Right, and he starts to basically eliminate the competition until he cannot be removed from power, and then World War II. So, what are you gonna do?
Crazy.
Also, I just want to say
events.
real quick,
Okay.
he invades Poland,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And the whole world is like, man, I really don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
Because we just got out of World War One,
and
and they're like, okay, listen,
Which is understandable.
understandable, but they go, okay. You can have Poland. And Poland's like, I'm sorry, you can have what?
Excuse me.
Excuse me?
No, they
All
can't
right,
have
listen, you can have Poland.
Look, Poland, you're gonna have to take one for the team. We don't want to do this again.
Yeah, Poland.
Lots of people have died already.
And then, now, of course, he
That-
didn't
and that's-
stop. And he goes, you're right. Okay, you got me.
okay.
You got me.
We'll just take
All right,
Poland.
All right. I'll stop at Poland. Does he stop at
No,
Poland?
no, he does not.
You ever heard of a dictator stopping after one conquest? No. He said, I got Poland and got away with it.
Yeah, that was way
literally.
easy. Way easy.
Not even a slap on the wrist. Like,
Yeah.
they were like, a finger wag.
Come
Hitler.
on, Hitler. That hurts people.
Hitler. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, thanks a lot.
What's his name?
Gavrilo Principe.
Yeah, dumbass. What? Who's the bigger dumbass?
All of them.
That guy for killing him, or everybody else who didn't listen, and even the guy there was an assassination attempt on your life, yet you still want to go out
In the open car.
in
the
an open convertible car.
When will they learn?
This seems safe.
Do you think the Pope goes out in an open car?
No, he does not.
Pope Mobile.
Not anymore. Bulletproof glass on that baby.
Although I will say, I heard they in the movie Cars. I don't know if it's Cars or Cars 2. They go, they say, is the Pope Mobile Catholic? And somebody said, listen, the implication that the Pope Mobile is a real vehicle
a living being.
means that Catholicism is real canonically in the Cars universe, which means there is a Jesus Chrysler, and I. That one sent me.
Okay, I didn't see that coming. You got me.
The Jesus Chrysler got me.
Set it up perfectly. I didn't even see it coming. Son of a bitch.
I was dying.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I got one very funny story.
Well, hit me.
That I could tell
Hit
you
me.
very quickly. This gentleman was being arrested for a robbery in the Netherlands. Okay? And he had a bird sitting on his shoulder. And it was his pet.
Okay.
So they arrested the bird. The Dutch police arrest the bird who was spotted at the scene of the crime sitting on this dude's shoulder because he was an accessory to the crime.
The bird handcuffs.
They put him in jail with crusted bread and a glass of water.
Did they really?
Legit. And when they posted the picture, they put a black bar over his eyes for his privacy. We will post this picture. Get him in the jail cell with a piece of bread with the black bar across his eyes. Later, the police did clear it up and say that he was this man's pet and they didn't want to just leave him there, so they took him back to the station and gave him some bread and water and took care of him until
But they want to protect his identity.
they wanted to protect his identity.
That's hilarious.
Hilarious. Oh
That's
my
actually
God,
really
I was
cute.
dying.
All right, good
So,
job. Good job
fantastic.
there.
Okay. So that I had two scoops poops this time.
That was pretty
terrible.
good.
I don't know. But
I would call you a super duper pooper scooper.
I'm gonna need a badge of honor for that.
Super duper pooper scooper badge.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we got the skitty scoop poop. We got the secret sauce. We covered
We finally covered the kerfuffle that is the
assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. I want to get Franz Ferdinand a T-shirt that says, "I went to Bosnia and all I got was a sass."
Oh my god. Listener, you know what to put on your Christmas list for Abby.
No, I said I want to get him a T-shirt. I didn't get a
I
sass
thought you
man.
wanted a t-shirt.
He's just bones now, probably,
That's
right?
true. That's true. What are you gonna do?
Put on his tombstone.
Put on this.
Thanks
yeah.
for nothing.
Thanks for nothing. And the wife is like, "You son of a bitch."
Literally, if I was, please hold. If I was the Duchess of Hohenberg, I'd be pissed.
guess what?
Sophie?
Sophie says, "If you want to go get killed, go for it. I'm staying at the hotel." Yeah, big mistake.
She just wanted to go back to the hotel. You know she did.
You know she did.
We should go visit those guys.
No.
You want to stay out in the streets where we almost were assassinated earlier today? You want to go back on those streets?
I don't think that's
With a
safe.
driver who clearly doesn't know his way around Sarajevo.
Fine. It's fine. We're going. Let's go, Sophie. Damn it, Sophie.
Damn.
That's R.I.P. Sophie. All right. You know what? I did tell the joke at my staff meeting today
Oh,
of what is a pirate's favorite letter, and they didn't know. They all said R. I said,
R.
you would think it would be R,
R.
but a pirate's true love be the sea.
His true love be the sea.
And they all laughed. What do you?
They all laughed.
Nobody heard that joke, so I was actually
That's pretty good.
I was pretty excited.
That's a pretty good mom joke.
That's a
Philly.
pretty good mom joke. That's Sam's favorite joke.
I do love that joke.
It's excellent.
I do love that joke. The damn him joke is good.
Do we ever tell the damn ham joke?
I don't think so, but
I
that's
think
for
so.
another one.
They're leftovers for leftover. We'll have the ham.
Leftovers.
We'll have the ham for leftovers. That's probably one of my favorite jokes.
That's a good one. I'd have to think about it.
And
All right.
You have to think about your favorite joke. All right. I don't know about you. But after this, I'm gonna need some serious beef.
And some serious ham.
Bye.
Bye.